All right, welcome back. We are in section 3, part 4, and we're going to be covering test preparation here. Now, these tips I'm going to show you guys today, you can use these for not just test preparation, but any preparation where you're going to have to demonstrate your skills or your knowledge in something. So let's jump in and get started. Today we're still using GPT 3.5 in this example. So I did a sample chapter article earlier today, and so I'm just going to use this as a sample chapter. So imagine you guys are studying cloud computing. Okay, let's say it's a new subject you want to get into. So let's just say you have an ebook and you want to analyze chapter 1, right? So analyze this chapter and create some discussion questions that help the reader with comprehension, comprehension. Man, I don't know how to spell that. Is that right? Comprehension. There you go. With comprehension of the chapter. Okay. And I'm just gonna paste this in. Okay, so here's some discussion questions based off that chapter. All right, so now provide some acceptable answers to the 10 questions. Okay, now I want you to use the discussion questions and answers to create a quick study guide. Boom, okay. Okay, now make a multiple choice practice quiz to help demonstrate learning. Okay. Still thinking. You gotta keep it going. Continue. Dang. All right. Okay, so it's gave us 20 of those. All right, so you see how just in that simple, short time, you guys can create some study guides. Now, this in itself could be a lot of stuff to go to, but as you break it down to what's useful for you, right? If you want, flashcards, you know, use the questions and answers to create flashcards. Put the info in a table form so that I can easily distinguish the difference between the question and answer. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. That's just based off one chapter. So you can do all this. That's a lot, right? Based off just this chapter. So you should be able to get some good learning in. Hopefully, even as you're going, right? What is cloud security? A set of principles. Boom. Okay, right? So you can create a study guide that just has the right answers or whatever. Okay, so let's jump into the next example. And this is if you already know something exists. Okay, let's say for standardized tests. I know my daughter just did some SAT or ACT, something like that. That's cool. So you can ask ChatGPT to help. All right, so let's create a sample test preparation quiz based on SAT questions. Create a, let's just say 20 question quiz or test preparation test for math and English. Okay, that's all I wanted to do, just to create the quiz. Okay, so I have, looks like 10 math, and I have a, if I continue, I'll get 10 English. Okay, great. All right, so now, um, provide the answers to each question. And show work on the math problems where necessary. Okay. So let's just say this. What type of math is included in these questions? Let's just say you need a more understanding, right? SAT, okay, so these topics include these, right? Okay, let's say you are really good at geometry. You suck at trig, and you suck at algebraic expression. So if you're already good at geometry or basic geometry concepts, you don't really need to study that. Just to say, hey, I know I'm already strong in these. I know for a fact that I need to study algebra or trig. So I'm gonna create just practice exam for, let's just say algebra, right? Let's create a study guide for algebra or SAT level algebra. Algebra, there you go. That will help a student learn and understand how to use concepts and what's another word? Okay, create a study guide for SAT at level algebra that will help students learn and understand how to use concepts and solve problems. The guide should cover, should be suitable to cover this topic. I don't know, we could put more stuff in there if we want, but anyway. Okay, so it's just telling me what to do. Okay, so it's obviously a lot of stuff, right? So what we can do, here's a study guide for SAT level algebra. Okay, review the basics, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this includes, okay, so here you go, boom. So you can take this one at a time. So you take one, the basics, all right? Explain the basics. And I'll just say layman's term, in layman's terms of following, and then you paste. And then let's see what's happening out here. Okay, so you can literally create a little book for yourself and just go one by one. So if you need practicing solving linear equations, review practice solving equations using various methods such as stick this whole sentence, right? Help me. Oh, you want to make it make sense. Solve equations using bound. All right. Share. Here's some. There you go. Right. So use this as study guides. This is a lot of work. I mean, for math and all this can definitely not my forte, but this is just a good example on how you can use this. Sample quizzes. You can create tables, flashcards, and for teachers, I love how teachers think when they're thinking about how can I best create tools that'll teach these kids or these students how to understand this subject better. And I think that's the job of educators is to consistently come up with creative ways to get the message across, right? Because every student learns differently. Some are visual, some are auditory, so it just depends on the student. So as we move forward and we're able to create new products, new tools, new things that'll pretty much help all of us learn better, that's going to make the biggest difference, in a lot of people's lives. So I hope these tips are helping you guys out. We're going to jump into the next section pretty soon after this. So thank you for covering and staying through this section. This is part 4. We're going to end this test preparation. Be sure to go into the practice and strategy section at the end of this chapter here and practice, practice, practice. We'll talk to you soon.